All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the third match of the day today at the Dallas Soccer Alliance Cup here January 8th, 2022 at Athlete Training and Health Center in Allen, Texas. My name is Tyler Watterson. I'm joined by my counterpart, Chase Boone. We have a long history of working together in these types of situations. This should be a very entertaining live stream for everybody tuning in right now. How are you feeling today, Chase?
I'm feeling great, T-Dubs. Thanks for having me, everybody. Welcome to the Alliance Cup, and we're getting a little echo here. Sorry, our intern is having some issues. You said situations earlier. I'd love to know what you mean by a situation.
Well, we had such a successful time streaming and commentating on the NISA Independent Cup a couple of years ago.
I believe it's called the NISA.
Pretty sure we were forbidden from saying that. But yeah, lots of chemistry between us, Chase. We've known each other for a long time. You're a former LSR player. I am now also a former LSR player, as I've officially retired and am not playing in this tournament. So we've got a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge to share to our viewers on the live stream today.
Well, do me this then. Let's break down this LSR squad.
Well, that's funny that you mentioned that, Chase Boone, because this is a brand new LSR squad. We have been a little bit on a hiatus since we won the Roja League in July, and have had a lot of turnover since then, both in the coaching staff and the player pool. But the last 6 months have been spent sort of rebuilding and bringing in some new players, and we've got some studs on the field today. I would argue that this is probably the best lineup that LSR has fielded in the 3 years that we've had our expanded semi-pro format. So I'm excited to see them play. I think there's a lot of individual talent and then a lot of cohesiveness. There's a number of guys out there today that have played with each other for a long time, and I'm excited to see them wear the colors and show us what they can do.
Excellent. And just for the viewers at home, and even more so for myself here, and again, thanks for tuning in, guys. Give me a few players to keep an eye out for on both teams.
Starting with LSR, our forwards, our attacking players today, all of them are brand new, and I've heard just incredible things about all of them. Nick Taylor at right wing is actually eligible for the MLS draft coming up in a couple of weeks. Started at the University of New Mexico, transferred to SMU, and finished out a stellar college career, and will hopefully be finding himself in MLS here shortly. Harvey Castro at the attacking mid position is a starting winger as a freshman for SMU. Won the national championship with his defensive midfield counterpart Anthony Patty a couple of years ago in youth soccer, and is just an absolute stud player. I'm excited to see him be able to dictate the attack. And then on the left wing, Dominic Folletto is from Forney, played his youth soccer here in Dallas, went to Houston Baptist. I have yet to see him play, but as he creates a turnover there on the top of the box.
Oh, goal.
And that is what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and get this started a little early. Waleed Sharif is a NISA professional player, most recently with Michigan Stars, from Dallas, and is back down here.
Top of the box. Oh, goal. And that is what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and get this started a little early. Waleed Sharif is
this fall and absolutely tore us apart. So I went up to him after the game and asked him to come play for us, and now he's here. And he paid off in 30 seconds.
Not only 30 seconds, he appears to have hurt his hand on that goal. It's either too hot or it's too cold, and either way, it was a well-hit ball, knuckled right into the left corner, and the keeper had no chance.
The temperature has been fluctuating quite a bit today, Chase. It's cold, it's hot, it's cold, it's hot. I feel like he's just not able to adjust his hand temperature.
We got, I guess, a stoppage of play here. He gets out his.
If you score a goal while you're wearing earrings, does it get disqualified?
Apparently, it does not. As he drops it over here as a token, some lucky fan's going to get those here in a bit.
As far as Irving goes, they actually have had a really excellent fall season. They ended up going to the UPSL final and faced against Foro just a few weeks ago, and had a really competitive game against Foro that I believe went into overtime, tied 3-3. Irving actually supposedly missed a couple of sitters at the beginning of the game, which could have really changed the outlook. But Foro was a loaded roster with a professional head coach, a number of North Texas SC players that had signed for them during the season once the USL season was over with, and Irving taking them to 3-3 into the final and a 4-3 loss in overtime for a championship game. They've got some quality. They're a young group. I think this is on average the youngest team in this tournament, probably an average age of 20 to 21. They've known each other for a long time. They're familiar with each other. Again, lots of chemistry in the team. I'm expecting to see a lot out of them. I really don't know much about their individual players. Their striker, number 19, Christian Gonzalez, is a quality player. And so I'm looking forward to see what kind of dynamism he can bring to the game up top. But I am hoping to see LSR play a really fast-paced, high-press game, and maybe that will isolate and eliminate Christian Gonzalez from the equation.
And Ricardo Pepe as well from the equation. You mentioned chemistry, Tyler. I'm looking here. This is there can't be a person out there that knows more about this team and this league than you. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That would be correct, Chase. I am responsible for recruiting a number of these teams to join us in this tournament. I'm very well familiar with the adult competitive soccer landscape here in Dallas, having ran LSR for a few years now. And I would personally, unselfishly agree with you that there's no one out there with more knowledge about the tournament overall and the players than myself. We're also going to be fortunately joined, I believe, in the next game by Tom Boyce, who is the owner of London Calling, Texas, one of the authentic vintage jersey shops. It's actually one located in Crossbar. And he is one of the managing partners at Sporting NTX, who plays in the next game. And so we're going to get a lot of personal knowledge and information about that club from him as well.
Not only information, Tyler, that was a heck of a plug you just made right there. And kudos to you. LSR here with the corner kick in the little under in the 4th minute. Expecting a right-footed in-swinger.
Got Harvey
near post is wide open.
Harvey Castro on the ball right now. That's a good spot with the near post. And that's where the ball goes. Oh.
And that's the way the cookie crumbled there, Tyler.
Ball skips through to the back post. I think it was Evans Wiggle that put a small effort on goal. Keeper collects it nice and easy, and we're back out in open play.
Is LSR, and this is something that we could probably even see from the footage itself, but it appeared to be more of a 4-5-1 setup to me. 4-3-3 possibly, like a 4-3-3 defend, if you will. If you play FIFA, you know what I'm talking about.
it has become a very common way to talk about formations and positions, as the FIFA has kind of changed the game in that sense. You could probably go with either one. I prefer to call it a 4-3-3 with 2 defensive midfielders. Anthony Patty and longtime LSR stud Tim Langford, as I'm sure you would agree. I've asked them to, just the two of them, use their fitness, their pace, to sort of dominate the center mid on their own and let Harvey Castro in front of them have a lot more freedom of movement.
Quick interruption in our telecast here. We're having some technical difficulties with Tyler's mic. I think he's back.
Back. A little distraction there from league and tournament commissioner Ben Bauer.
It's a good tackle there.
Great tackle there from Anthony Patty. Anthony started out at Mercer University in Georgia, actually, and is in the process of transferring to another Division I school in South Texas. Good luck to him moving forward. Lucky to have him on the team for sure. Like I said, he was one of the partners with Harvey Castro winning the Youth National Championship at the U17 age group for Solar here in Dallas. Harvey and Anthony have known each other for a long time, and so obviously putting them together in the midfield should reap some benefits, as I think we've already seen.
Reminds me of a McTominay-Fred partnership a little bit.
We all know McTominay and Fred grew up playing together and also won a U17 U.S. Youth National Championship together just many years before these two did. But I agree with you. There's a lot of comparisons there. I would argue maybe that McTominay-Fred is more comparable to Tim and Anthony rather than Anthony and Harvey. I would say Harvey's probably more of the
knowledge goes deeper and deeper, folks.
The Bruno Fernandes is a better comparison to the Harvey Castros of the world.
And speaking of the Prem, and just for our audience here, if you had to compare these two teams, who are you comparing them to? Who?
What's up, man? How you doing? That's a great question. Because I don't know that much about Irving, I'm going to say they're going to be a lot like Arsenal because I don't watch them.
Or possibly Newcastle, who got beaten by Cambridge United today at home with Kieran Trippier and Miguel Almiron on the field.
That's the magic of the Carabao Cup, Or was it
the FA Cup today.
Cup. Okay.
That's something you didn't know, which is shocking to me.
I'm honestly kind of embarrassed right now.
Ref is putting up no-nonsense here.
Remind me who Newcastle lost to?
Cambridge United.
Cambridge United.
I think a Tier 3 team. Division 3, excuse me.
I'm pretty sure the Saudi Arabia Investment Fund is pretty thrilled about that.
Oh, I'm sure they are. The richest team in the world. Again, not too simple from LSR. Number 10 with some pace and hacked.
Dominic Folletto doing exactly what I was told he was going to do, which is drive the ball forward on the wings, and an excellent job of working around the outside back and center back, finding open spaces. And it pays off with a really well-placed free kick just outside the box. I got distracted with talking. I forgot I was doing what I did too. Oh, we had a corner, too. I'm also currently the statistician here at Chase, so if I get distracted working on the iPad trying to keep track of stats, that's why.
I thought it was your mic going off again, but that's okay, though. So Tim is sitting over the ball here, Tim Langford.
Timmy.
Who is right wing back. This is very Trippier spot, goes low, and not his best effort. Not sure what he was trying to get that over the ball with his laces or just rocket it at somebody.
It looked like he was trying to be cute there, and I really don't appreciate it.
Nor did I. LSR attempting to settle. Now, is it Irving Rayados?
Irving Rayados.
Rayados.
Yes.
Do we know what Rayados stands for?
I'm pretty sure it's some form of nickname for Monterrey CF in Mexico. I could be wrong, but
we should just call them Monterrey going forward for a little bit, only because they are rocking the badge after all.
They are rocking the badge.
We talked about that earlier in our pre-press conference. Which we do those here, by the way.
We do those. Yeah,
it's a pre-press conference.
We get a lot of demand for those pre-press conferences.
Scouts, coaching, personnel.
We're kind of the go-to contacts for this level of soccer.
Questionable. As we take some time here and watch play semi kind of established, we haven't seen a lot of action as of the first goal, which was 30 seconds into this game.
Yeah, you're not on it. Yeah,
Irving is attempting to play these balls out of the back, but is coming across some issues in midfield as you almost saw them turn it away again here. Tim winning the ball back in midfield. Attempted switch from LSR.
I feel like we're starting to see the game pick up a little bit. It was a little wacky at the beginning, such an early goal. Took a minute for the game to get settled down, but now we're starting to see a little more possession from Irving, and then just a little bit more action going both directions.
Commentators curse they just gave the ball away, literally, as you said, possession, and I'd argue that no one's really possessing the ball well here. Simple balls.
I never said they were possessing well, Chase. I said they were possessing more. I'm pretty sure I've missed some opportunities to track stats, so I apologize to both teams after the game.
And I believe the grammatical would be in possession more often.
You're probably correct about that. You did go to a private school.
I was going to say, what's the guy's name in 8 Mile who, his name is Clarence?
To be honest, it's been so long since I've seen 8 Mile, I couldn't help you.
You're
talking about the person in the movie or the actor?
It's the guy who Eminem is going at the very end with. He's leading of that crew that, the anti.
The Irving Rayados. The Irving Rayados.
Yeah, I think that's the one. Yeah.
Looks like we've got a foul here on LSR. Well-positioned free kick here for Irving. About 30 yards out, a little bit left of the goal.
This is some really lush grass here. I think these guys have been out here for the last couple weeks making sure it was in prime condition.
We came out here last night and trimmed it with nail clippers ourselves, so it should be pristine.
Excellent.
And it's definitely not turf, Chase. Don't ask if it is.
No, it definitely is not. It looks like some type of Bermuda hybrid.
I feel like we should have
Crab
some wedges
grass
out here right now on the Bermuda
let's
grass.
Not talk. Let's talk golf.
Playing Sherrill Park 2 tomorrow at 10 a.m. Chase, how do you feel your round's going to go?
Man, I feel like it's going to be similar to how LSR has done it so far. It's going to be great early, and it will slow down to a halt shortly after that, but I think I'll be just fine. How are you feeling about tomorrow, T-Dubs?
I feel pretty good. I think we both play a little better on Sherrill Park 2 than we do on Sherrill Park 1, so I'm looking forward to it. It's been a while since we played it.
Well, we'll be under similar conditions, cold and windy.
It will be. So the balls are going to be a little more firm.
That's what she said.
A little, yeah. Easy there.
How do you? This is a family program. How do you feel about the conditions playing a part, if any, today, as LSR just strips the ball away and hovering outside the 18?
Well, it is a little on the cold side. It is a little bit wet, and this is fairly new surface. So as you can probably see so far, there's been some slipping. The ball is skipping a little bit harder. I think that's going to make long, especially over the top through balls, a little bit more difficult to connect on. If you throw in the wind, that just makes that a little bit more difficult. So keeping the ball on the ground is probably preferred in this game. And I think for the most part, the conditions are going to make just the game a little bit more sloppy than it would be otherwise. But I don't think it's really going to benefit either team in particular. I was just about to curse them again with a comment on their possession, and then they lost it right as I was about to speak.
Well, yeah. They are attempting to establish possession, and more or less are in LSR's half, and have been more in LSR's half for the last several minutes, as opposed to the other way. We are having a VAR review. There's a potential penalty check happening here. Or no, wait, it is just that.
There's a ball managed to sneak outside the fence line, and we're struggling to find another one. It's quite a long walk to get around the fence to get the one that's been lost.
We're not really sure what the ball boys are doing here, but
we didn't think we would need them, Chase. This is nice and tightly fenced in, but it's turned out we've already had one go on the roof today somehow. Plenty have gone over the fence. This one went through the fence. You just can't do anything about it.
Well, I'm speaking to the head of facilities shortly after this game concludes.
I think we should riot.
Potential riot here for LSR. Ball nicely played in there. Looking far post. Oh, and that was a hack, and the ref says, get up.
I have to say I don't mind that. When players are running away from goal and no threat at all, I really don't like seeing PKs called that week.
And I'm glad you're not a ref, sir. Nice hands.
We've also got a new center back pairing today for LSR. Two brand new players. Evans, who's been coming out for a few weeks, has attended a few scrimmages. This is number 23, Aaron Craig's first appearance for us. Two guys with size that have a lot of playing experience. People that I trust have recommended them, and so far they've been excellent debutantes. But I'm hoping to see a little bit something different from these center backs than we're used to. Putting in a strong performance and holding the shutout throughout this game, that would be a big statement for them in their first appearances.
Would you be prepared to discuss the individuals that are connecting you to these players on air?
I would. Evans, number 5, left center back. Waleed, number 9, our striker that I mentioned earlier. And then Nick Taylor, number 15, at right wing. They are all familiar with each other and have all kind of brought each other out. Waleed, like I said, I approached him after a DSA game this fall, asked him to make the switch and come play for us, and then he brought Evans and Nick Taylor with him.
Well, let me stop you there, T-Dubs. When DSA gets involved, is there some type of fee involved? Even this is lower division. I would imagine transfer fees are common.
They are not at all common. And there's not really much point. Waleed was here on a break from his time at Michigan Stars playing in a Sunday league game. And getting him over from being a guest player on that team was pretty easy.
Michigan Stars are out of Kalamazoo, correct?
They are out. I don't – he's smiling over here. Yeah, Kalamazoo. They act like they're out of Kalamazoo. I'll say that. They're kind of a wild organization with a questionable past. And Kalamazoo seems like a great city name to fit them into. Funny enough, speaking about how I found some of these players, Harvey Castro, the SMU starters, I met him actually sitting next to him at a poker table a couple months ago, and I've just stayed in contact with him since then, and now he's suiting up for us. So I'd say that was a pretty good acquisition.
Well, and those are maybe some of the tidbits that the league and the commissioner's office will be listening to. You don't typically want your players gambling, and that's across all sports. That's a universal concept, but I'm glad you openly admitted that. It sounds like it was a mutual transaction.
It was, yes, and we didn't beat each other up too much at the poker table that day either, so we managed to stay in each other's good graces. And
legal, more importantly.
Yeah, and legal, exactly. As long as they don't gamble on the LSR games, then I think everything's cool.
6 with the yellow card here.
Irving player Edgar Falcone just getting a little bit aggressive, grabbing the jersey of Tim Langford there, receiving a yellow card.
This game is slowly starting to open up here. A lot of back and forth. But not so many shots on target for either team. Looks like ones and goose eggs across the board.
You know, we watched earlier, we had 2 games earlier today. The 10 a.m. kickoff saw Capel FC facing longtime dominating team here in the Dallas area, NTX Rayados, famous for a big Open Cup run a few years ago where they ended up playing at the Houston Dynamo. It's pretty awesome to have been watching that when it happened. Rayados ended up winning that game 2-0. But as you talk about, not a whole lot of shots on target from either team. Both the games earlier had a lot of shots. I think both of them finished, one team with 18, 20 shots in a game, and their opponent would have 10.
Rayados ended up winning that game 2-0. But as you talk about, not a whole lot of shots on target from either team. Both the games.
Capel or Copel?
I believe it's Capel because of the 2 Ps. Is there 2 Ps? I think there's 2 Ps. 2 Ps, 2 Ls.
2 Ps,
confirmed
2 Ls
by
from
our cameraman Preston.
Our local insider. That's right. I'd like to go ahead and give a nice shout out to our incredible team out here today, braving this cold weather with us.
Chase, I feel like if we're able to keep Irving just dumping long balls in directly at our center backs, that we're probably going to have a pretty good afternoon. What do you think?
I think you're very astute there as well, Tyler. And not only that, will be a pretty easy afternoon. It could finish 1-0 here.
Another astute observation.
Oh, there seems to be an injury here with 10.
Dominic, 1 second. I will be right back as I make some substitutions.
Our Tyler Watterson, my co-commentator here, stat man and sideline official, will be making a substitution here for LSR as it appears. Number 10, Craig Aaron, or definitely not Craig Aaron, but we're going to get number 10 off the field here shortly. That would be Dominic Folletto with the injury. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. It is now the 23rd minute. LSR is up 1-0 versus Irving Rayados. Fairly back and forth game. LSR scoring early, literally within the 30 seconds of play having started. And you're witnessing a typical transition of LSR occupying Irving Rayados' final third. The ref's calling a pretty letting them play for sure. Couple questionable calls here as the Rayados take it up the field. Missed tackle there from number 6, Jeremy Martinez. Irving is looking to play simple and find an opening there, 15, but nicely stepped by our center back, Fernando Leon. The wind is howling across from east to west here. It's, I would say, no doubt, probably 45, 48 degrees Fahrenheit here in North Texas. Might be getting a check here on that. 54, but feels like 48. And Irving Rayados are with a free kick here about 30 yards from goal. Not sure if Irving is looking to play a ball over the top here or actually take a shot on frame. based on his distance from the ball, I would imagine this would be pinged in far post, unless he's feeling greedy, and he is feeling greedy with a low stinger into the wall. No threat to LSR. And a handball there by Time Langford. Not ideal, as that gives Irving Rayados back-to-back quick dead ball situations. My stat man is not here, but I'm not sure how LSR have done with dead ball situations this season, but so far it's not been any threat to them during this match, as Irving steps up to the ball here. There seems to be some confusion on 10 yards. LSR in a three-man, now five-man wall setup. 4.5 wall setup. And this could be a good chance for Irving if they can put this on frame. And that ball is pushed left. Positive, though, from Irving, as they've seemed to be putting LSR on their heels here in the 26th minute. So it's like 3 substitutions here for LSR. And when my stat man gets back, we'll rattle off all these players for you, but seems to be a change here tactically, as when you substitute a few players at once, there can only be for injuries and tactics, and that appears to be the case here, as LSR is about to kick things off here as our goalkeeper Cal Mickelberg is waiting for the ref's go-ahead, and he gets that go-ahead. Mickelberg is sending his players forward and is able to get some distance there. Battling in midfield, and yet another foul on LSR as they learn to take the free kick quickly. Nice attempted ball over the top from Darius Miller, longtime LSR left winger. It's important for LSR to stay focused here, as these games see their highs and lows, and this is one of the lows. From a pace perspective, both teams still trying to figure out each other's play. It's still fairly early. Physical competitions like this tend to lead to more stoppages in play. Irving is looking to play short, instead opts out here. Number 17 plays a ball nicely off the ball, back post. Quickly given away by Lone Star Republic and the Rayados, a.k.a. Monterrey. And again, another foul here. LSR is still looking to make a few substitutions. Harvey with the ball here, about 40 yards out from goal, plays it left to number 9. Number 9 is attempting to play that ball back post. Gets denied. Timmy with a missed touch there. Ball goes out of bounds. Rayados ball. Apologies for any technical difficulties you heard on the call there. There seemed to be some equipment adjustments happening. And a close offsides call. I'd love to see the replay on that one. We are now about 15 minutes plus stoppage time from the end of the first half as LSR lead 1-0 in this tasty affair here between LSR, the home team, and Irving Rayados out of Irving, believe it or not. The Alliance Cup is brought to you by Crossbar, Soccer, and Beer. What else do you need? As we welcome back T-Dubs, a.k.a. Tyler Watterson, a.k.a. Tiki Dub Tyler, back into the booth.
I just wanted to provide a little shout-out to Greg Alicious in the chat saying the commentators both sound like they have great beards. I'm not sure who Greg is, but you happen to be correct, sir.
Yikes. And
one of ours is better than the others, but, can't all be perfect.
Claim the fifth on that one, T-Dubs. And, yeah, thanks for the shout-out there, Greg. Hope all is well.
If my suspicion is correct, that's actually Dr. Greg Holstein, our rules official.
Correct, and I'd love to get him on the horn at some point if we could, if there is any controversy.
I think I might call him and put him on speakerphone.
If there is and I'd love to ask Dr. Greg this question, similar to Dr. Joe Machnick, is if the referee's going to actually wear a mask, should he wear a mask or should he just wear it over his chin and on his ears? I'd like to get Dr. Greg's take on that as the ball goes out of play. Right in front of the commentator's booth as Irving's looking to take it quick, and it's denied.
Fortunately, just like Dr. Joe Machnick, Dr. Greg has a doctorate in education, and so he should be a great person to comment on mask-wearing rules and regulations, best practices, things like that.
And and again, to get Dr. Greg involved, too, that easily could have been a yellow for me as number 6, Anthony Patti gets clipped from behind there rather nastily, and this has to be several fouls now on LSR in the Rayados.
There's more fouls for each team than either team has shots on goal, so I think that says a lot about the scrappiness of this game so far.
And you definitely were not in the booth for this commentary as you were dealing with I think you were cleaning up a spill in the bathroom there in cold weather games like this, particularly when the field is looking this good, and again sitting about 50 degrees here on a lovely Saturday afternoon here. The very English-like weather. It's going to be a physical game, and it's proving to be that. Both teams are looking to press, but both teams are also looking to play out of the back. So we'll see some mistakes here as Irving is pressed and gives the ball over. A quick foul again as number 17, Isaac Takaka, with a clever nutmeg, takes himself wide right, looking for some support here, gets it. And number 11, I'm going to call him Harvey. I'm not 100% sure if that is Harvey. But
Harvey Castro.
Harvey Castro, correct. Another sub for LSR here is number 16 is getting the nod to come in. Harvey's coming out. Number 16, who is not listed on my team sheet. As Allison is coming in this game here at striker. 18 also coming in, and Ryan Wilson playing some attacking position, I'm imagining, looks like, as the number 9. And 21 coming in, Surrey. Arouse. Center back. LSR attempting to play a little bit of possession here as they swing it from left to right. As Nando plays a interesting ball trying to penetrate midfield. Now switches it, flick on by Allison to number 7. Darius Miller, again, longtime LSR left winger, and
joined us at our championship win in Florida.
the first trophy, if I recall. And there is no offside here as Irving Rayados is clear on goal and is stuffed by Nando. Nando with the clearance. And a handball here on Monterrey, a.k.a. Irving Rayados.
Number 4, Fernando Leon, I think the longest tenured LSR player on the field for sure, as he's been around since the very first day of our expansion into the semi-pro ranks from our old days in the Sunday League. Referee showing a yellow card here to Christian Gonzalez of Rayados Irving. Not sure exactly what that was for. Did you see it? He kicked the ball. A typical yellow card offense.
Very typical, and I've had the chance to play with Nando over the years, and he's a no-nonsense center back, doesn't put up with much. And as he receives the ball here from Mickelberg.
Believe it or not, still going strong at 43 years old, Fernando Leon.
Is it 43? I thought he might have been about...
He's 32 or 33, I think. Actually, I think he just turned 33.
And
what did you say, Preston? He's 50.
The beautiful part about that is my partner here literally answered the question. He goes, no, he's actually 32. As we progress here, Allison chasing and a clearance from the Rayados 21, who's rocking probably the coolest hair out here today.
100%. He's also rocking a bandage around his arm because he put his arm up against a cryotherapy tank and is currently...
He Antonio Brown himself.
He's currently got a burn on his arm over some very nice tattoos that he has, which he's pretty upset about.
Well, let's hope it doesn't turn into Antonio Brown's situation.
Number 21, Sirio Rouse, also a new father. Just had a baby girl just a few months ago.
Shout out.
And, playing for pride, family pride here today.
If he scores a goal, do you think he'll kiss the ring and do the rock baby celebration?
I think he'll probably adjust his bandage on his arm and then come back and get back into formation.
Spoken like a coach. I'd love to get Dr. Greg's take on that, in fact, but we'll digress. Maybe catch him at halftime.
We might start a Dr. Greg appearance at the second half. I think that's a good idea.
The Rayados, a.k.a. Monterrey, attempting to play out the back. I feel like I'm watching a bad Manchester United game as the constant attempts at playing out of the back aren't working. There doesn't seem to be any pivot here.
Well, David De Gea is just not in the same form that he was a few years ago. I think he's starting to find it back, but he's not as confident with his feet as he was in the 16-17 season in his prime.
As a goalkeeper, as the ball spins right out towards the commentator booth, that I'd argue that you are so off base, it is insulting to me.
You think David De Gea is in good form?
He's our MVP of the for Man United. I am unbiased here on the call, but De Gea is by and large the MVP of Man United. They're one of the only players who's showing up, and I could say the same for you. When you were a goalkeeper here, you were not really MVP quality. And it hurt your team tremendously. And there's a shoulder-to-shoulder foul there. But again, I circle back to that comment. The LSR keeper, who has one of the best names on the team sheet, Mickelberg,
it's actually Mickelborough.
Well, we are in America after all, and I'm reading it as I see it. Oftentimes Americans get questioned for adding accents where they don't need to have accents, and so I think I paid him a European tribute by just reading it as is. And Mickelborough has not seen a lot of action today. And again, when you were in goal, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you've conceded more goals than any keeper in LSR history.
Well, whenever you play thousands and thousands of games, Chase, it's inevitable that you're going to concede the most goals. But on a per-game basis, I actually have the record for the lowest goals against average. Well, I also happen to be the club's all-time leading goal scorer, Chase. Somehow that is possible. So you're griping at the wrong person right now.
It's interesting. As again in any commentary situation, you never talk over the host. And you did, and shame on you, sir. You'll be hearing from my attorneys. At the same time, when you have the all-time leading goal scorer, who's the goalkeeper with the most clean sheets and the most goals conceded, and the most penalties saved and the most penalties conceded, you're sounding more and more like a Landon Donovan just by proximity than you are with your overall greatness. So with that being said, I think your name is in the Hall of Fame for a reason.
Yep.
And you're in the commentating booth for a reason.
Yeah.
As 21, Surrey was just hacked about just inside the final third for Irving Rayados, as LSR is now pushing their players forward and then hesitates, then pushes them forward again as number 5, our center back.
Confusing decision to let our 6'4" center back get halfway up the field before taking the free kick rather than all the way up the field before taking the free kick.
And the 6'4" center back is not listed on my team sheet.
Evans Wiggle? I believe he is, sir.
With no number attached. Oh, he is number 5, correct.
Breakaway here for Irving Rayados and stuffed out by that same said center back, Evans Wiggle, with a nice recovery and a challenge.
Breakaway here for Irving Rayados and stuffed out by that same said center back, Evans.
Get some more intel on that.
We'll get Dr. Greg on it.
I still make fun of him, and we're not even kids anymore.
Have you ever said, "Wiggle me this"?
No, but I will at halftime. I'm not that creative.
So just while we have some time here, as the game is again coming to a grinding halt here, give me some details on the LSR new manager replacing Senor Lloyd.
That's a good question. We don't have an answer. I am currently the loyal interim manager, but don't plan on taking that role long term. We are currently in a search for a new head coach with a few candidates in mind. And not in any rush to replace the longtime 3-year tenure of Sir Zachary Lloyd, who brought us lots of success, lots of attention, and
I'd say a harmony to the team.
I would say a harmony to the team as well, one that we're struggling to find again, but we'll get there. I think the chemistry we have on this team right now is making up for it for sure.
As LSR progresses this ball up, number 7, Darius Miller, longtime LSR player, left winger, does a little shake and bake, cuts it back to Allison. Allison holding the play up. Miller gets the ball back, takes it. Nice little dummy there. And
oh, yes, Surrey.
A tasty little snapshot there from our new father, Surrey.
Gets the ball back, takes it. Nice little dummy there. And oh, yes, Surrey. A tasty little snapshot there from
on top of the 18 that resulted in a shot. It was off target over the bar, but I'll take what I can get. I love to see that active possession and off the ball movement that leads to things like that.
Tyler, wiggle me this. Do you think Surrey, when he's at home and he's with his family, that his wife or someone will say Surrey and his phone will turn on and ask a question and say, dooloop?
I will say there's a 100% chance that happens very often. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if he has a nickname at home to prevent things like that.
Well, there's 2 options here, and I like you go with the funnier version. Other than that, or they've muted Siri and they don't use Siri at all.
That is another option, and it is also less funny. It's not surprising that you came up with that one. I know that my Siri lights up whenever I say things that don't even sound like Siri, so I can't even imagine. They probably have Alexas. That's my guess. They're an Amazon family, if I had to guess.
We'll check with them at half. We'll get Dr. Greg.
Lots of stuff to check with at halftime of this team.
As Mickelberg with the ball. Miller with plenty of time and space. And on this field, guys, a ball like that's just going to roll right out of play. They've been watering it outside of the camera's vision, and when the play switches, they turn off the sprinklers. It is quite wet out here. The ball is sliding, and as Irving give the ball away, and Allison with a beautiful strike. Parried by Monterey's goalkeeper.
Allison doing what Allison does best, using his big Brazilian body to body up on defenders and turn and fire off a shot as quickly as possible. He's done that for years, and it's nice to see him, after taking a few months off, still back at it.
They call it the Fuego, I believe.
I think it's Joga Bonito.
That I think those are one and the same. It's keen to point out that Darius has not noticed that his right shoe's laces are untied. Is that by design, or do you think that's just more of...
I would honestly give you 80% odds that it is 100% on purpose.
It's motivating. And we are at half. So coming at you live from Allen, Texas, this is Chase and Tyler. We'll see you after the break here at the Alliance Cup.
And we are back here for the second half of Lone Star Republic versus Irving Rayados in the inaugural 2022 Dallas Soccer Alliance Cup. I almost said 2021, but it is the year 2022. Again, my name is Tyler Watterson. I'm sitting next to my partner, Chase Boone. And we will recap again a very long history of us working together on projects like this, Chase, with just incredible chemistry in the booth.
Well, our first sports Emmy was one that I will cherish forever. And
it was controversial, I must say.
Not only was it controversial, it was undeserved, and we kind of snuck in there, and it was for the LSR semifinal game. I think it was in Shreveport.
The Nissan Independent Cup final. Yeah,
Independent Cup
we
final.
We don't need to talk about that game.
I was with my. It was our intern Mark Farrar, and I think Dr. Greg was also present. You were in goal, but you had an injury and then came off, and then you joined me in the booth for the first time, and from there it was, the rest is history.
I think you're talking about a different game, Chase Boone.
I thought you pulled a hamstring. You had to come out,
no.
And it was kind of it was a mess situation. But I wish
I would have pulled a hamstring, so I didn't feel like it was my fault that we allowed that goal in the 89th minute and lost 1-0. But
Oof.
You live and you learn. I think that's the right.
I thought the hamstring happened right at in stoppage, and then you joined me for the post game.
No, that was not it.
And speaking of credentials, funny enough, I saw you selecting, at least discussing tactics with the team. What are your credentials to be a coach of a team of young men who seemingly outperformed you in every facet of the field, just from my perspective?
If I must recap my credentials, Chase Boone, I'm the Lone Star Republic all-time leading goal scorer and shutouts leader in our club's history. So
touche. Well, I was going to say
apostrophe. Enough said.
It was an NCAA Division I title. One was Stanford. It was the Jordan Morris year, I believe. I think you were either starting or backup.
I got hurt that game, and Jordan Morris
pulled
came
a hamstring.
pulled a hamstring, and then joined the commentator in the booth and got to call Jordan Morris leading Stanford to victory and getting discovered by Jurgen Klinsmann. So
that's right. That was
a long time ago. The story went.
You were about 150 pounds lighter.
Wow. I mean, I've gained some weight during our hiatus, but I don't think it's 150 pounds, Chase Boone. An aggressive figure.
I digress.
Yeah, it's one of many stories I could tell about my history with U.S. soccer and somehow just myself never being discovered. Jurgen Klinsmann came to that game to scout me, and Jordan Morris goes in instead, and then he goes pro after that.
Damn hamstring of yours, dude. Get it together. That was about. I mean, what a letdown. I think you have the stem on your hamstring right now as we speak.
We do, actually. Yeah, the stem is on my hamstring. It is a notorious hamstring, constantly causing me problems. Did you know I was also from Hershey, Pennsylvania, and it was back up to Christian Pulisic that whole time.
I don't know if you watch any other sports other than soccer and cricket and golf, but did you, if you happen to watch the Dirk Nowitzki retirement, or not retirement, his jersey ceremony, his number rather, Cube said, "Hey, we'll throw you," or Jason Kidd said, "Hey, we'll throw you on a 10-day contract. You interested? Since you have the stem on your hamstring, if Mickelberg went down, would you have to step in here?"
Believe it or not, I am fully prepared to step in as the backup goalkeeper if needed. I do have my stuff with me, and I can readily hop out of the booth and jump in goal if needed. I'm desperate for Kyle to find himself at full fitness at the end of this game, so I don't have to do that, but you always got to be prepared.
Is it interesting that there's both a Kyle and a Time on the same team?
Being a massive South Park supporting club, I'm just wondering where's Stan
or Cartman.
I mean, my dad Randy's on the other sideline. That counts for something, right?
It does count. There's two Tims as well and a Kyle. Yep. Well, as we circle back to this game, believe it or not, there is a game being played here. We're in the 50th minute, and the Rayados have a corner kick taken by the lefty 23, who floats it back post, easily dealt with by LSR, and a poor clearance there from Darius Miller, again, longtime LSR left winger.
Evans Wiggle proving his worth at center back yet again with a nice clearance there on the back post corner. He has been all over the balls in the air so far today. And speaking of tactics that I discussed at halftime, I invited us to continue to force Irving to play those long balls over the top towards our center backs, as they've shown to be very solid in the air up to this point.
People would pay for that type of knowledge. And Mickelberg with a possible keeper error that he actually did settle quite well. But, man, I feel like a goalkeeping coach should say, hey, man, put that knee behind your palms there just in case, right? You tell me, all-time leading conceder.
The knee behind the palms is quite old-school goalkeeping there. Some people still choose to employ that, but we prefer goalkeepers that don't need a knee behind the palm these days.
That is a bold statement, but I will allow it because, again, you are the all-time leading goal scorer, goalkeeper, and conceding goals for LSR.
And most appearances in club history as well.
Is that like Pele goals, like you're counting appearances like they're friendlies?
Yeah,
or are you counting like actual competition?
My first 3 years with the club were with North Texas Premier Soccer Association, and that really barely counts. So, I mean, I scored, thousands of goals.
So you're the dude, like the Iranian guy that no one's ever heard of, that scored more goals than Neymar and Messi and Ronaldo. And that is a questionable call.
Absolutely
Tim Langford
horrible call from the referee there.
Tim is not happy about it.
Kind of confused why that whistle was blown at all.
And by being an assistant coach, I'd love if we could mic you up and have you interact with this referee.
I would be yelling at these refs. That was awful. That was awful.
Does he need to get back in his cart?
Another golf reference. At Sherrill Park, actually.
Long ball played from 21, kind of just hopelessly drifting it in there. But Irving does have the ball here on the left side of LSR's defense, and it swung in ball right to left and was pushed out.
Down in this downtime, let's go back to that foul. Aren't you supposed to win the ball? I'm pretty sure that's what Tim did there.
Well, I think modern referees, like you said, modern goalkeepers, it's not really about winning the ball, just like it's not necessarily about putting the knee behind the hands. Most referees, if there is any type of stud up action or lifting of the foot, will call the foul regardless. And I think that's, we could go to VAR, we can go to the replay, but I think that's kind of what referees are typically doing these days. But you tell me.
I do agree with you, I think, and I somewhat support that hypothesis, but I will say I'm not sure I saw any studs up action there from Tim, and so I think I'm still questioning that decision from the referee. But we move on. Tim has to sub out of this game in about 10 minutes to go to work, so he probably isn't going to need to be too worried about a second yellow card.
And is he working as the starting left back for North Texas Soccer Club?
He is not. Why would you ask?
Well, I figured he'd go into another gig, a soccer gig.
No, he is a server at a restaurant.
Oh, well, let's plug him in. Where does he work?
Oh, he works at Beerhead. It's a new spot in Plano I've been to a couple times. It's pretty good, really good beer selection.
Do they
not as good as Crossbar Soccer and beer, but a pretty good beer selection.
I have a random question. Do they have any Boulevard, Omegang, La Chouffe, or Duvel on?
I'm confident that they might have all of them, but they definitely have some. I'm pretty sure I've seen Boulevard
Well,
there.
I meant Crossbar.
Oh, Crossbar. No, we are focused on Texas beers at the moment, but that could be changing.
How's that working out for you?
We get a lot of compliments, Chase.
Strong to quite strong. As Rayados was, a.k.a. Monterey, a.k.a. Irving Monterey, was close offside call there, but ultimately LSR with the ball back here in Mickelberg with the pass to our big boy number 5.
Evans Wiggle. I don't know if that's bad stat keeping, but that was the first offsides I've called today, so I have in the stat sheet. So
that would be incorrect.
That'd be incorrect. All right. Referee just fell down. Pretty sure he should be handing out a yellow card for that.
He might have hurt himself here, folks. Let's be real. Referees are not known for their fitness.
Pretty sure it was Tim Langford again, and I'm surprised he's not sent off.
The referee is struggling here, folks. He is. Now, again, I think, and Dr. Greg and Dr. Joe were both weighed in on this call. It's up to the referee to see if he wants to wear his mask over his face or not. But I would imagine it would impede on his breathing, and hence why he's not wearing it. But in case FIFA or MLS or Premier League officials are out here, Howard Webb in particular, he is wearing his mask to comply.
Speaking of Dr. Greg, we forgot to get him on the line, so hopefully he's watching and answering my phone call right now.
And by phone call, you mean a direct line, a fiber optic line from Google over the broadcast. Do we have Dr. Greg on?
Yeah, Dr. Greg actually just answered the phone as Dr. Greg. Dr. Greg, would you like to appear on our live broadcast? All right.
Do we need his permission to do so?
I mean,
legally?
Technically, no. Dr. Greg, we were curious. What are your thoughts on the mask under the chin from the referee? Is that in the referee rule book or not?
The chin diaper is a questionable call in public and on the soccer field. Either way, I don't think there's anything in the FIFA handbook requiring that. It makes it hard to blow a whistle with the mask on.
And I'd like to thank Dr. Greg for hopping on. I'm not sure if the audience heard. There are a lot of ums in there, but basically what Dr. Greg is saying is that it's up to the referee, and FIFA nor the Premier League nor MLS officials have any issues with that.
Not as far as I'm aware. This is obviously a developing situation, unprecedented times.
So we got to give him some benefit of the doubt.
Sure.
Okay, sure. Yeah, benefit of the doubt. Now, did you see the yellow card on Tim Langford, Dr. Greg? I'm curious on your thoughts.
I saw the questionable yellow card on Tim Langford. In the referee's defense, Tim is sometimes a walking yellow card in many games. But I would have to disagree with this instance.
All right. Dr. Greg disagrees with the yellow card. That's good to know.
That's interesting. And since Dr. Greg is on, we have another yellow being dished out to. It appears to be number 16. 23.
Number 23, correction. Yellow card to number 23. We did not get a good view of that one, so I'm going to assume cleats up, slide into the shin. That does sound like a yellow card offense. Dr. Greg, I appreciate your appearance on the program today. It was great to speak with you and your infinite knowledge and expertise on this game. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. We will, seems like likely be calling you back, though, for some further commentary.
Thanks for having me on, Tyler and Chase.
All right.
Thanks, Dr. Greg, and we'll make sure to talk with your people to get you paid out on that. Irving is moving this ball down the right wing and is testing the back line of LSR, and a bobble by Mickelberg, who quickly recovers. I hope he didn't hurt himself there, but he's back on his feet.
Scared me for a second.
Wiggle me this, Tyler. If Irving does respond with a nice little cheeky nutmeg there on 8-on-8 for Langford, I mean, LSR has not necessarily had many chances outside of the ones at the end of the first half. Are the adjustments that you made at halftime going to pay dividends, and particularly if you have to, if LSR does go down, because Irving is seeming to press the ball here?
I am not happy with what I'm seeing so far from LSR. I think it is definitely not what we discussed at halftime. I'm not seeing us play far enough up the field. We are still too deep in our back line and our defensive midfield, and that's allowing Irving to really control the game through the center of the park. We definitely need higher presence up the field, some more pressing on their back line, and just in general, our formation needs to be moving up the field faster than they're currently doing.
You have the stats on hand, and the intern does as well. If we can get the intern to make a run around the stadium, can you tell me what the percentages are possession?
I unfortunately don't have that statistic. We can. What's your guess? What do you think possession looks like right now?
50s across the board. I mean, it's but maybe even slightly, 55 to 50% for Irving as they take this free kick, and Mickelberg with the punch and the poor clearance by LSR as Irving was right on the penalty spot, 6 yards out from equalizing this game.
Percent for Irving as they take this free kick, and Mickelberg with the punch, and the poor clearance by LSR as Irving was.
Two is you might need a stress ball. I think the best remedy is to get you out on that field. If you do need to warm up at any point, you just wave to our production team, and we can obviously circumvent this broadcast accordingly.
I will admit I am not fit to play right now, so that's not going to be
Is it the
happening.
hamstring?
I appreciate the offer. No, it's a combination of feet and not having played
Talent.
for 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Talent. You're always speaking the unspoken words, Chase.
And that's what great poets do. And again, this game is not, I'm not sure if it's just my presence here, Tyler, but it's been a while since I've seen LSR kind of pull out a very smooth game, smooth performance. I want to see simpler balls. I want to see these guys in these triangles just banging the ball around and then looking to play out wide into space. As Harvey plays a crossfield ball, a tough ball to control, who's now 15 is double teamed, and it's a nice tackle there, and 8 with trying to come back nutmeg. Again, just needs to settle down here, play quick passes as Timmy Langford toe pokes, and oh boy, that was.
Are you kidding me, ref?
You can hear T-Dubs in here is not happy with that, nor should he be. Got his bell rung there, and could be a referee is holding this game together. And if you see a guy with a red hoodie on and a blue jacket on and jeans, stay away from this man. He is not happy. He does look like he could be a serial killer, but he could also be the all-time leading goal scorer for LSR. He's on the sidelines. He's not happy. He's back in the booth. Tyler, what do you think about that call there?
I am just horrified at that. Tim receiving a yellow card for a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge where he actually wins the ball, and then the referee letting a cleats-up flying slide tackle go with no repercussion is kind of shocking behavior at the moment. I'm probably not helping anything by yelling at him, but I just can't help myself.
You think the home team would have an advantage? I mean, I think of Man United, again, to use them as a reference, at Old Trafford. You could use Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, City at the Etihad. Typically, calls are going their way. This has not really been that type of game for LSR.
To be fair, this is a neutral site, Chase Boone, and we're actually listed as the away team here. So that may answer your question.
That does answer my question, and I feel bad for the field guys that were out here for the last 2 weeks making sure that this field was up to your standards. But yeah, I guess being the away team apparently has no advantages either.
I'm surprised with all of our pre-conferencing that we did that you weren't aware of some of the basic information about this tournament.
I'm not.
No.
Tyler's taking some time here to read the comments. If you have a comment, please list it. Please post it. Is that what the kids say? Post a comment.
Post a comment.
Post
please
a link.
comment at us.
Quick Snapchat on YouTube. And if you have some NFTs, buy some of those too. And actually, I think that's a good time to transition. I heard LSR is making some NFTs. Can you explain the concept of the metaverse and what NFTs are, Tyler, and why you're participating?
Honestly, I don't know where you heard that rumor, and I don't have a clue. So I think NFTs are screenshots of artwork on the computer.
I think it's correct.
I think NFTs are screenshots of.
Timmy Langford's coming out here. He's currently sitting on a yellow. And if you guys aren't familiar, players can be subbed off and subbed back on. This is not the Premier League.
Incorrect. There are 2 sub windows. Well, they can come off in the next half, but there's 2 sub windows for each half for each team. And you can make unlimited subs. Once they come off in that half, they cannot go back on in that half, but they can come on in the second half.
So very similar to the Bundesliga.
I don't think so. You're making me question my Bundesliga knowledge. It's somewhat similar to college rules, if we want to get technical.
So, okay, gotcha. So Division 3 1A stuff.
Correct. Yeah, sure. College football playoff type stuff.
Allison chasing this ball down here, and the keeper gives it away. Number 15 collects. Darius Miller, the longtime LSR, receives it, but is then to distribute to the right side here. As the fog is seemingly creeping in, it might be hard for the folks to see. Please post a comment. Smash the like button if you're liking what you're seeing here this afternoon.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Smash it. And let us know your thoughts, because again, we have the if you have a question for Tyler, the all-time leading goal scorer and goals conceded player in LSR's history. If you have any specific questions, any of the games in the past, please let us know, and let us know where you're posting from. You know, if you're out in California, if you're in London, England, if you're in Irving, let us know. We want to know. Seriously.
If I can commentate a little bit on my own team right now, I feel like that round of substitutions was made a tad bit early, and I probably did not have made those changes at the moment. But my interim head coach over on the sideline handling those duties while I'm in the booth.
Would you consider him a colleague?
A colleague? Is that what you said? 100% he's a colleague. Yeah.
A partner?
Yeah.
Well, in any relationship, there should be open communication. So if regardless if you're in the booth or not, it actually comes down on you. Is that fair to say?
It's fair to say. Great through ball here for Ryan Wilson, who gets in, and the referee calls it back for a foul after a little disruption after he gets his heel clipped. Nice little flick on there from, looks like Darius Miller was over on the left side.
Long time.
Long time
LSR left winger.
I think he joined us in Florida for that national championship we won.
Which I won't ever forget, and Tyler, you were there, you were keeping. I was starting center back, this is how long ago this was, and it was the most horrific injury I've ever seen on a soccer field in my entire life. A gentleman from Colorado shattered his shin bone. Anyway, we digress. And I do have a question, though, and this is a Dr. Greg moment again, and it might have to do with, it's Premier League versus Bundesliga versus FIFA versus UEFA, CONCACAF, whatever. If the referee's jersey is close in color to the jersey of the goalkeeper, should the referee switch their jerseys, yes or no?
Believe it or not, this is far from the most shocking referee color decision I've ever seen. But yes, I think technically speaking, every single entity on the field should be wearing a different color. But as we all know, referees are horribly lazy and have probably actively decided to just not care at the moment. They could be wearing green. They could be wearing any number of other colors. I will say, though, red and blue being already taken by the two teams on the field.
I'm checking the comment. Check the comments. Where the comments are. As we goalkeeper for Irving slips, and Nando with the flick, but flicks it back to his own line, and ball sails out of bounds here.
As I checked the comments, Chase Boone, Dr. Greg chimed in with a little, Dr. Greg says the referee is struggling in a lot of different ways comment, and he is the expert. He is the doctorate in education and our official rules official, so we have to go with what Dr. Greg says.
There also appears to be some Man United shade being thrown on the chat. Understandably so. This is a Man United-like performance here from LSR. It's been, and
you get a save on that? Was that a save from
that
Kyle
was a save by
Mickelberg?
Mickelberg?
How did he scramble to recover on his back post right there? That's incredible.
You might need to
Looked
get
like
from
me
the
out
east
there,
end.
Chase Boone. Hi, man. Everyone say goodbye to Tim, going to work.
That's right.
Server at Beerhead in Plano.
If you're looking for craft beer in Plano, head to Beerhead, ask for Tim. He'll get you taken care of. Maybe an autograph. Have you watched the Century Tournament of Champions at all, Tyler?
No, I have not watched that at all. I haven't gotten a chance to watch golf in a while, man. Opening up Crossbar, we've been pretty busy. Not a lot of time for
I thought
extracurricular
you have
activities.
quite a lot of golf on at Crossbar at all times.
We're forbidden from playing golf per Ben, commissioner of this tournament, and one of our partners.
Ben Crenshaw.
Crossbar. Ben Crenshaw, yeah. No, famous golfer doesn't want golf on the TV, yeah.
Famous course architect, Masters winner. I believe it. He's an investor, and I think that's, again, it's a good plug. Hey, if you guys ever want to go down to Austin and play a great course, go play Muni. #save Muni.
Like Sherrill Park.
#Sherrill Park.
Checking the shop, Chase.
Checking the shop. As we check back into this game here, Allison holds the ball up quite nicely to our Aaron. To Siri, excuse me, Siri. And if anyone's phone turns on after I say Siri, I apologize in advance, but
As my iPad just did.
and we're back, folks. Technology.
She didn't understand, Chase.
No one really does understand. The weather is quite nice out here today. I like the comments streaming in. It is about 48 degrees. Probably it feels like 41. It is a it is a cold, brisk wind. Go about 5 to 10 miles an hour coming out of the east as it whips across the field towards the LSR goal. Irving Rayados with the corner kick. Another in-swinger here possibly on the line as the referees are having a conference. I'm not sure if it's about the mask or the jerseys, but the mask is back on.
The mask is up. How's he going to blow the whistle right now whenever he calls something? I feel like they were colluding over there on the far sideline.
The fans are streaming in here, and it is about the jersey, and I'd like to think that we had something to do with this, folks, if this does come to pass.
Not sure what's going on here.
A little player inside. If we can get somebody on the field.
It looks like Irving Rayados has some unruly fans, as is usual at these games. We do get tons and tons of support, as you can see live on the stream. Some unruly fans over in the far corner talking to the linesman, and they've asked the captain to snuff it out. Pretty typical here in North Texas amateur adult soccer is some unruly shenanigans from the supporters groups behind the goal.
Yeah, drinking. They've been out here since 10 a.m. drinking and having a good time, hitting the pubs and their Guinness and their Jameson.
And new Papa Surrey just down a little bit of a back injury, got shoved in the back. Speaking of drinks, Chase, you said you had one more for me.
Yeah, nice. This is a carbonated water. It's called Topo Chico, and it's got grapefruit in it because I know that's your favorite fruit to eat on the golf course as you play.
Grapefruit and pumpkin seeds all day long.
If anybody wants to chime in on how nasty that is, please do so. There we go. I love that. Hope we caught that on camera. As this game is begging for it to open up here, but it's getting a little choppy as number 15 Nick Taylor taking the foul there and out for another Irving corner. So I'm not looking at the stats here, or I actually am looking at the stats, and it's quite overwhelming. This is, I believe, Irving's 7th corner, if you're keeping track accurately.
If I'm keeping track accurately, which there's only a 50-50 shot that I am, it is 7 corners for Irving to 1 for LSR. It is a little bit of a shocking statistic, but Evans Wiggle up again.
There seems to be, well, I think, Tyler, you're needed from coaching perspective. If you look to your left here, I didn't know.
My assistant.
There seems to be, I think, Tyler, you're needed from coaching perspective. If you look to your left here,
left to right play, and Irving's keeper is able to collect. And again, I wasn't 100% sure if that was the referee picking that ball up or not, but we play on. Irving is slowly building out of the back here, switching from right to left with the ball over the top. Nando is watching that ball ease out of bounds for an LSR throw-in. Tyler is taking a quick step out of the booth to, I think he's lacing up. He's getting on his cleat. No, I'm just kidding. He's not doing any of those things. But he is needed outside of the booth. LSR is battling here, trying to play some quick soccer, but unable to string anything together quite yet. Irving is a little Rabona there from number 7 over the top to Mickelberg, and safely distributes to the LSR left back. The press is on for Irving Monterrey, and Surrey with the nice dip of the shoulder, but loses the ball, and 14 then does recollect and possess, and a switch from right to left.
Great ball out on the right wing to Nick Taylor. Beats his defender, beats another defender, gets around to the back corner.
And a save there, and again, the excitement in your voice. I mean, I feel like I'm listening to Arlo White out here. I mean, and a great header away from Nando there. He's probably taken about 400 shots to the head in his life with that soccer ball. And he seems to be okay.
Would you say he might be used to taking balls to the face?
Correct. Irving is attempting to move the ball. They switch it from middle going right, and Nando was not able to get there, but Mickelberg does in a very Tim Krul-like way, gracefully. I could have been watching a ballerina. Takes that ball right off the Irving striker's head and is able to get LSR out of a pickle. Nando with the ball here.
I will say I love the Tim Krul reference. I have to say I was extremely accurate, sir.
Tim Krul is a graceful and not only that, an attractive man, and he's one of the all-time great Dutch goalkeepers, and LSR was in some trouble there and still is in trouble. Mickelberg with a great save, and
yes,
number
sir.
5 with the clearance. Well done from LSR. Irving is continuing to put the press on. And Tyler, any coaching updates?
No coaching updates, but while that ball got blasted into Louisiana and they're chasing it down, I wanted to comment on some of the comments on YouTube that we're receiving. Yes,
smash
Attune Network. Yes, smash the like and subscribe button. The Attune Network would like to say that the atmosphere is absolutely electric, and I think we both agree.
It's been electric all morning, and like we mentioned, come into this game, with the team bus and the flares, and Irving was having some time even getting into the players' tunnel. Eggs were being thrown at them.
Yeah, the window got shattered by a rock, man.
Shattered by a rock, heckling by fans. It's been a rough one, but it is a peaceful night out here. I'll tell you this: that the lights don't come on here shortly. This is going to be a tough game having to be played. I'm not sure what the facilities manager is doing, but hopefully everyone at home can still see. I know you sure as heck can see the white jerseys or the yellow jerseys out there for the referees.
Well, I'm pretty sure the facility manager isn't from Alaska, where they often have to turn lights on at 4:30 in the afternoon. So this is just a little bit of an odd weather event, and one that, yeah, you're right. Hopefully the lights do come on soon.
I feel like that was a slight dig at Alaska, and for any Alaska listeners out there, please feel free to comment and smash the like button if or dislike if you are from Alaska and that's a problem with you. Please, it's at tylerwatterson123@gmail.com. Feel free to send him a note and let him know your displeasure in the anti-Alaska comments. But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it is quite dark here. I mean, I think typically we lose sunlight at about 5:30 down here in North Texas. And if I'm, correct me if I'm wrong here, we could also be pulling out we have a yellow ball, yes, or an orange ball?
We do not. We're not prepared for the winter weather. Yellow balls were not provided.
Well, we got to get to Nike.
I mean, if we had a yellow ball, we'd have to change the referee jersey.
That's true, and we know Nike. Who's the official kit sponsor of LSR?
We don't have one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we need to get Nike or Adidas on the phone.
Agreed.
And
Preferably
figure that out.
Nike.
Maybe Umbro.
Preferably Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, or whichever rep happens to be watching the game right now.
Hey, a cool brand that you should look into. I don't know if they do any customized stuff, but have you heard of LBF?
I have not.
Live, Breathe Football. They make some good stuff. If you check them out on Instagram, LBF Football.
Is it at LBF Football?
123@gmail.
Nice plug. Speaking of which, at crossbar.dallas.
For all your
world's greatest Richardson-based indoor soccer facility. Did you know that, Chase?
I know you don't have great beer there. I know that. But I know great soccer is there. And if you're looking to play competitive soccer, play pickup, co-ed leagues, you're looking for a great indoor Bermuda field with all the tech, great sound system, semi-average craft beer.
Bent grass. It's actually bent grass. It's a nice putting surface.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not rye. Ooh, as LSR concedes a late goal and offsides.
No, that was over the goal, Chase. It was over the
It
goal.
was over the
It's
goal.
a nice putting surface. Okay. Not rye. Ooh, as LSR concedes a late goal and off.
Estimated with some stoppage time. It's gotten a little bit shaky, I will admit. We have yet to really come out of our shell this half. Have not played high enough up the field, but there's not a whole lot that we can do about it at the moment. So we got to buckle down and lock in that back line and finish out this somewhat questionable 1-0 victory.
Now, this is another Dr. Greg Macknick call here. I combined both their names. If you can catch that.
I noticed that.
There seems to be two captain's armbands for the Irving Monterrey Rayados team. Their goalkeeper and their left back are both wearing the captain's armband. I'd love to get Dr. Greg's take on this. Is that legal, and does that make sense?
I'm thinking we might need to question the eligibility of this team. Dylan Vidral with a very pertinent comment.
Is it Vidral or Vidral?
Actually, now that you say it, I think it's Vidral. Soccer Innovations needs to provide us with a high-vis orange or a yellow ball. That's a comment just made on our YouTube. Not sure if he was listening to our discussion or not, but yes, a great comment there from Dylan. Dr. Greg Holstein with the clutch text message confirming that there is one captain allowed per team. So, again, eligibility of Irving Rayados for the rest of this tournament is in question now.
It sounds like it could be an automatic withdrawal or disqualification, and I think we'll get Dr. Greg's take on that as well if that does deserve a DQ. But again, the referee's mask is down again, and it appears to be staying down. So, and understandably so, it is warm out here, if you can't tell. And it's about 85 degrees, a little humid here for this time of the year, but a beautiful day here in North Texas as the spring rain decides to start falling down as I speak.
I'm starting to feel like I might not be able to see my 400-yard drives down the fairway tomorrow morning on SP2, Chase. What do you think?
Only if you're playing your noodle balls will you have a hard time seeing it. And 400 is a little bit of an inflated number.
Well, it's because it's cold. It normally would be about 450.
That's right. The real question is, are we going to play from the Reds tomorrow?
Or
the Whites?
The Reds are where you're best suited, so we might end up on the Reds.
I meant
otherwise known as the forward tees.
The ladies' tees, and I was only going to play with my putter just to make it easier for you.
Well, SP2 is a good course to do that on, so it's not the worst idea.
Particularly 16, that par 3 would be great. For any golfers out there, please like or smash and let us know what you think.
Frisbee golfers as well.
Disc golfers.
Disc golf.
Jeez Louise.
Well, you just said ladies' tees, so now we're even.
Well, it's like calling a flight attendant a stewardess. Is that what you're getting at me with?
Dylan Vidral with another incredible comment. Yes, very surprised the referee is not also wearing a captain's armband.
That is quite, as you mentioned, using your earlier vocab, T-Dubs, astute. And He should. I think every referee should be having a captain's armband on. They should be captaining themselves. This is more of a philosophical question now, I think Vidal's brought up, and one that we could maybe even take to the FIFA Referee Commission.
We'll take it all the way to the top. All the way to the top of the referees.
Yeah, those connections, right?
Yeah, we do. All the connections. To answer another comment in the chat, Marcos Treminio, the games earlier today actually were very entertaining. NTX Rayados with a 2-0 victory over...
Nice shot by Allison there, and a quick recovery from their second captain, and another offside.
NTX Rayados with a 2-0 victory over... Nice shot by Allison there, and a quick recovery.
Snuff out Ryan Wilson's follow-up there. Really, really well done from the number 1 from Irving Rayados. But back to Marcos Treminio, the games earlier. NTX Rayados with a 2-0 victory over Capel FC in the first game, 10 a.m. kickoff. Very entertaining game. Rayados just showed their experience and their time playing together. Again, they had a historic run in the U.S. Open Cup a few years ago and have been a steady force in amateur soccer in the North Texas area for a long time. Capel FC making their competitive debut, held up really well. Copel held up really well. And definitely showed that they belong at this level, just couldn't really get over the professionalism from the Rayados. And then Provident coming in, longtime DSA and NTPSA stalwarts, a number of former professionals on the Provident squad, including some former FC Dallas players. Just about all of them played high level in college. A lot of them played club together. Tons of experience and chemistry in that squad. They came out with a 4-2 victory over newcomers CD Aztecas, who are Queso Cup winners from the summer from DSA, and have a pretty loaded roster, to be honest. They definitely showed up with a nice tournament team and showed well against Provident, but again, Provident's experience as a team really just shone through, and Aztecas just couldn't really do anything about it.
Well, you mentioned, we do have a few more minutes to grind this hopefully victory for LSR out. Thoughts on Jesus Ferreira signing a DP contract with FC Dallas?
I'm very impressed with that deal. I was, not the biggest fan of Pepe's move specifically to Augsburg. Definitely happy that he got over to Europe, but at first glance, the Augsburg move was a little questionable. Looks like a money grab and probably could have gone to a better club had the Hunts been willing to take a lesser offer. But immediately following that up with a standard, not just a youth DP deal, but a standard designated player deal for a guy like Jesus Ferreira is awesome.
Game changer.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first deal of its kind in MLS, as a homegrown, coming up through the ranks and then receiving a full-blown designated player deal, not a youth DP, not a homegrown
second high-placed player on the team.
Yes, and I think the money is being well spent there.
You think he's worth it?
I do, and I don't think I say that very often, as you know, about.
Is it because he's a crossbar? He typically comes to crossbar.
Good
in the
little
offseason.
shout out, Jesus Ferreira coming out to crossbar and playing pickup sometimes. Yes, I might be a little bit biased. Might be a little extra happy that he's staying in town and playing with FC Dallas so he can continue to come tear it up at crossbar.
Here's what I want you to do. I'd love for you to get a Jesus Ferreira FC Dallas jersey, have him sign it, and you frame it and you put it in crossbar.
Would definitely be a Jesus Ferreira U.S. national team jersey. Unfortunately,
club and country, Tyler.
I can't get
it's
behind
club
that.
and country.
I can't get behind that.
Well, and I will say that the Hunt Sports Group, if anyone's listening from the Hunt Sports Group, please chime in at any point. That ball was not well hit, and that's not what Irving is looking for here in the 89th minute. A field goal, if you will, over the top of the LSR goal. But no, I'm with you, man, and I think it's a quite strong move for FC Dallas. Now I think if Jesus under Nico's the new head coach's system is able to play as that true 9, or in a 4-3-3 false 9, or in a 4-3-3 straight up, or a 4-4-2 diamond, and he's able to play as a striker in the middle, I think that would be great for FC Dallas. I mean, Frank O'Hara has not been doing well, and then with Pepe gone, there's obviously going to be drought now. The Pepe equivalent for LSR, Allison, is taking the ball down. That was a hard but fair tackle by Irving Rayados, and cleared out for what appears to be a corner as the stat man.
Hard but fair tackle by Irving Rayados. Cleared out for.
think a lot of the pundits, including myself, that have been paid to ask for their opinions, have weighed in and saying, Augsburg is known for two things. They're owned by an American, right? His name is Dylan Baxter, I believe, who recently bought Real Salt Lake, who also has money tied into numerous clubs around the world, including FC Augsburg. Shattered their record transfer to get Pepe at $20 million. Who's going to be serving Pepe? They struggle for goals, and they struggle today. They were up early, and Pepe came in and maybe had a few touches, but wasn't getting a lot of service. And it's looking at a team very similar to FC Dallas last year at the bottom of the table, and hopefully he can turn it on here as Irving is blazing down the left side of LSR's defense, cuts back in the middle, and a no-call penalty, a rightly no-call pen, as Wiggle clears, and we are at time. LSR with the 1-0 victory over Irving Rayados Monterrey out of Irving, Texas. Thank you guys for joining us. This is Chase Boone signing off here with T-Dubs, the all-time leading goal scorer and goals conceded player in LSR history. We welcome you back to the next game here in the next hour or so, and stay with us. Cheers.
Okay.
Good?
All right. And we are back at the request of commenter Marcos Treminio. Thank you, sir, asking for a post-match press conference. Chase Boone, we just watched a 1-0 victory for LSR over Irving Rayados in their two teams' first ever matchup together. A little bit of a scrappy game, not the best conditions. What are your thoughts overall on the game?
I blame the refereeing 100%. I mean, it was, aside from the 30 seconds that LSR dominated this game, which was in the first half, there was just some questionable calls. I thought Timmy Langford's yellow was ridiculous. I thought it was absurd. I thought the wearing the mask on the chin was unprofessional and borderline illegal, and then allowing Irving to have two captains with two armbands at the same time. I didn't understand it, and for me, I'll be reporting it to Howard Webb and UEFA. Keep it together, please. This is a serious show.
Howard Webb sure does have a lot to say in the North Texas amateur soccer scene. There's no doubt about that, so I can't wait to get his feedback. I completely agree. I thought the game was in shambles due to many of these circumstances. Two captains' armbands. I don't know how LSR managed to pull out the victory despite the obstacles that they were facing. Shameful yellow card on Tim Langford. Shameful non-yellow a few minutes later on one of the Irving Rayados players. Questionable decisions from the referee, but we're used to that. So, that's the easy stuff. It's the double captain's armbands that I'm surprised that we were able to surmount today. Yeah. So appreciate everyone tuning in. Chase Boone will be taking off for this next game. I will be joined, hopefully, with Tom Boyce of London Calling Texas and one of the managers of the Sporting NTX franchise to line us up with Sporting NTX versus Strikers of Dallas Soccer Alliance in our next game, starting in about 30 to 45 minutes at 5:30 p.m. Central. We will see you then.
Coming at you live.